Dan Steiner has dedicated the past 24 years of his life to saving babies from the tragedy of abortion. As the president and founder of Preborn, a national ministry providing ultrasounds to women in unplanned pregnancies, Dan's organization is responsible for over 44,000 children's lives saved and countless women coming to know the love of Jesus Christ. Good to have you with us today, sir.
It's our pleasure to be here.
Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this and how you started this ministry.
Yeah, well, you know what? I can't really take credit for it. I've got to give glory and honor to the Lord Jesus Christ for calling us into it over 24 years ago. Had a time where I would get up for 2 hours every morning and pray from 4:30 to 6:30, and during one of those times, I just sensed God's broken heart for the unborn. You see, it says in Psalm 139 that He knits each of us together at the beginning of our days in our mother's womb. He's intimately acquainted with all of our days. He knows our end from our beginning. And abortion cuts that short. His heart's broken over it. And I sensed that broken heart, his broken heart over this issue during that time. And I said, hey, you know what? What can I do to help?
Yeah, and what was it that you decided on? I mean, like, because it is a massive problem. There are various organizations that do different things. So how did you come up with Preborn?
It's really true, Stephan. There's so the pro-life movement has like a three-legged stool. One of the legs in that analogy would be political, like my friend Mike Pence hopefully will help us with here in the next few years to stop abortion politically. We don't do that at Preborn. Another leg of the three-legged pro-life stool would be protest. We don't do any of that, you know, in front of abortion clinics or peaceful protests and, you know, Life Chain or whatever. We don't do that. We're the third component of the compassion movement, quietly apart from the firestorm of rhetoric, loving women into wise choices. We use ultrasound to help them see their babies, and they'll choose life for their babies if they do that. So that's the spin we have on it.
And what's that statistic? I think it's some 80% of women keep their babies after going through this process. Talk about that.
Yeah, you know, so a woman doesn't really want to have an abortion any more than, in a rough analogy, an animal wants to chew its leg off when it's in a trap. But who's going to open the trap for her? You see, 48% of the time, the boyfriend, husband, or significant, whoever he is pushing her to abort. Another 42% of the time, it's the mother that's pushing her to abort. And so talking her out of it's very difficult. Well, you'll be 40% successful. But if she hears her baby's heartbeat, sees her baby on ultrasound, she'll choose life in the low numbers 80% of the time. And so that's what Preborn does, and that's what we're inviting listeners here today to Harvest to do, is to underwrite an ultrasound. We give them for free to young mothers by the thousands across America. And you can be part of that for, you know, just $140 underwrites 5 ultrasound sessions for young women.
Now, with respect to the centers that you have at Preborn, is there any distinctives between what you find in maybe, you know, this part of the country versus that part of the country with the ladies and the effectiveness of really reaching their heart with this incredibly critical decision?
Yeah, there really is a big difference. A lot of the cities that we work in, we have centers in New York, Los Angeles, very diverse culture. You have Asian cultures, you have Middle Eastern cultures, you have Hispanic and African. It's all different, and some of them are very prolific to abort. You know, their family tradition might be that they're not even supposed to be pregnant out of wedlock, and they can actually take their lives, their own family, and it's legitimate in their culture to do so. And in Oriental cultures, to lose face being in an unplanned pregnancy, they're very prone to abortion. And so it's very diverse across the United States. But the neat thing is love and ultrasound, truth and life, speaks to every culture. That heartbeat is it's like a smile. You know, whether you're in Russia or whether you're right here in South Bend where we're broadcasting from or wherever we're broadcasting from, you know what a smile is. And you know what a heartbeat is. A heartbeat is not a blob of tissue. A heartbeat is not a mass of cells. A heartbeat is a baby. It's a life. And that's what we're inviting people partner with Preborn to do.
How many crisis pregnancy centers have a preborn ultrasound equipment?
So there are about 2,800 pregnancy centers throughout the United States. Probably 75% of them have ultrasounds. A number of them are too small to have one. And right now we've got, and they age out, the machines age out for the ones that do have them. So we've got 14 cities right now that we're needing to place ultrasound machines in. So an ultrasound machine is a game changer. From 40% to 80% will choose life. And so we're just saying, you know, maybe there's somebody listening here today that could underwrite one of these machines. They're $15,000. We put reconditioned machines in. They last for 10 years. They've got a warranty. And year in and year out, day by day, saving lives. And, you know, it's a great way to invest $15,000 to sponsor one of these machines.
Not only are you saving, you know, the life of an unborn baby, but also you're talking to women about the love of Jesus Christ. Talk about that component as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Valerie. We are evangelists to abortion vulnerable women. That's our heart. You know, so here's kind of the deal. If a woman comes in and she does not choose life and her baby dies, where will that baby be? With Jesus. Okay, scenario 2. If the woman comes in and she sees an ultrasound and she chooses life and the baby is born and then the baby lives for 80 years and dies without Christ, where will that baby be? In hell. And so what we need to do is lead that mother to Christ. It's the end game. Save the mother, save the child. Lead the mother to Christ, lead, you know, her to choose life for her baby. That way she can share Christ with her baby, and it's a twofer, you know. We've got a life for earth and a life for eternity.
Tell us about the child sponsorship program. How does that work with Preborn?
Yeah, so what that is, it's kind of like an overseas sponsorship where you underwrite a meal for every month for a child. In this case, you're underwriting an ultrasound for $28 or 5 of them for $140. And here's the cool thing. 100% of it passes through to our centers. We don't keep a dime of it. We're independently fundraised to support our administrative needs. And so that $28 a month or that $140 for 5 ultrasounds will go directly to the center, and 80% of the time it'll change the woman's mind. And for that, what you get, much like with a overseas sponsorship program, you'll get a picture of a baby whose life was saved. Now that's going to be an ultrasound picture because the baby's not born yet, right? And the story of the mother, her name's been anonymized because it's often a confidential situation. She's in an unplanned pregnancy, maybe sometimes she's even in an affair. But we will send that to you as a sponsorship. 100% of the sponsorship's tax deductible, whether you're writing a $28 a month one-time preborn child sponsorship for a woman, or whether you're underwriting an ultrasound machine for $15,000, and we need 14 of them right now. It's all tax deductible, and we are an independently audited organization by the Evangelical Council of Financial Accountability. We're under an independent volunteer board of directors supervision, so it's all, you know, above board.
So I just wanted to know, how does it work when a woman walks into a crisis pregnancy center? Is she given the option, or is it a part of the process? Because I know in some states there, you know, there's this heated battle. When you call it a ministry, it feels more like the fight that you've joined. So when a woman walks in, does she have the option? Because I know that's part of getting her to see and open her eyes that this is a human being inside of her.
Yeah, you know what's really ironic about that, Valerie, is in this whole firestorm of rhetoric around the issue of abortion, we're the only true pro-choice, even though we're pro-life organization. You have to give women choices to be pro-choice.
Right.
And so we offer them adoption, we talk to them about abortion, and we talk to them about parenting. If they choose to parent, which we encourage all of them to do, we are not for abortion. Abortion hurts women and kills children. But we will give them diapers, baby clothes, cribs, car seats, maternity clothes. For the first 2 years after the baby's born, we'll give them a layette in virtually all of our centers. Practical compassion and the gospel of Jesus Christ, all of it, for free. Because of Harvest TV today, because of you, the listener, if you're part of this, you can be part by going to preborn.com. or dial 855-601-BABY, 855-2229, 855-601-2229, and just it's all tax deductible way to help.
I want to say thank you for joining us today, Dan. To connect with Dan Steiner, you can go to, as you mentioned, preborn.com. Always, you can go to our website as well, harvest-tv.com. You find an easy way to link back to the Preborn website as well. Coming up later, Pastor Mark Lance with part 2 of his teaching, but up next, Brian Bush with today's Holy Land Moment. We'll be right back.